Welcome to Tokyo Station. That is the Marunouchi side of one of the most beautiful stations in the world, Tokyo. It's a place that every foreign tourist seems to want to come to, Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what?
They ain't no tourists.
Yeah, he doesn't want you here. But I do. I hope that you all come.
Yeah, yes. I
your
came
fault.
up with that title. Yeah,
I don't
right.
know well, what could be provocative.
Right.
Well, it is true that some people don't want tourists here, and maybe that's one of the reasons why the Japan travel ban had gone on for
2.5 years.
Entry ban, yeah, for 2.5 years, which is set to end in June, according to Prime Minister Kishida in a speech that he gave in London 3 days ago, which is pretty incredible news.
It's fantastic news for some people.
And then there's others who don't want. Of course, we want you to come here, but in a way, do you really want people to come here? Think about how quiet and peaceful the city of Tokyo has been.
It has been lovely.
All the tourist attractions, when they are open, there's nobody there. We have the entire city to ourselves. Even on the last day of Golden Week, look at it. This place would just be, you wouldn't even be able to see the ground, and yet today, you can see a lot of ground.
Lots of ground.
We're giving this up for
of
tourists to come back. And is it worth it? How do you feel about this?
Well, it has been nice, and don't try to deny it. It has been nice having smaller crowds, but the obvious flip side is a lot of people are suffering from this. And I think I mentioned to you, I was in Harajuku last week, and I was walking around some of the back roads there, and tons of vacant spaces, just ghost town. These old furniture shops or hair salons or whatever. They're just looking for tenants in all of these spaces, and it's never like that before. So a lot of people have gone under. Their businesses have suffered big, and that's sad. And of course, we're saying this in jest, about we don't want you. We love you.
We love you. We were just kind of kidding, but in a way, there is the reality that if tourism opens, and I don't think June's going to be a mass opening of tourists. No. And we're going to talk about what he thinks about that too in a second. But I'm with you. I was, over the course of the last two and a half years, I have been walking around. So have you. The city, especially Akihabara, Shinjuku, there's certain areas that we're really relying on foreign tourists that are not going to be the same when you come to visit. Shibuya, for a different reason, it's just finished most of those renovations that were taking part when you were here in 2019, some of you. That's finished. Shibuya looks amazing right now.
Yeah.
It's modern technology. This is the future of Tokyo that we thought and envisioned. Akihabara is not. It's decayed a little bit, and it's sad to see that even those buildings are still not open, that were shut down, especially that Sega No. 2 building.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you and I have both experienced the before tourism boom and the after tourism boom, and it was like 30 million tourists in 2019. It was a
32
record.
million.
Wow. Record for Japan, incredible. And those of you who have been to Tokyo or been to Japan as tourists, there's just zillions of tourists, foreigners here. And when I first came here, and when John first came here, was the late 90s, you would see, there was tourists, of course, but it just was this slow growth. And then in the past 10 years or so, it just this rocket of tourism. And it had a lot to do, I think, with
YouTubers.
Thanks a lot.
No.
Shot yourself in the foot. It had a lot to do with the weakening of the yen, and look at where we are now.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Speaking of that, if anybody I did a live stream a week ago or so, walking around the city, it got to 132 yen to the dollar. That makes Japan like 25% off. Yeah. You're getting a big discount if you can come in. Hopefully these rates stick around until August or September, when mass tourism most likely will return.
Yeah. But you and I are going to get hurt very soon when we're going back to visit, right?
That's true. When we go back, because we have yen, when we go back home, everything is 25% more expensive. But I can live with that. If you can come here to Japan and enjoy more stuff, that's good. Now, I envision now, we came here because this is a place, that's a nice car.
It's a Maserati.
A Maserati?
Yeah.
What's that one, a Porsche? Are they together?
It's a Porsche. I don't know.
Do they know each other?
They might.
They probably go into Gin to see all the nice cars. I came here on the end of Golden Week because usually you see a lot of people come here taking pictures of the back of Tokyo Station. That the thing is, even though Japan opens the doors, not every country can come into Japan.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of countries that might not be here, especially China, which accounts for about 80% of the tourists to Japan. So even though Japan opens the doors, we're talking like 20% of capacity of what it used to be.
Right. Yeah, I mean, have you heard, are there any parameters that they're putting in place as far as the number of people that they're going to open the gates for on any given day? Because they can't just say, okay, everybody come on in. There's going to be I would imagine a build-up to keep everything under control.
I think so. Yeah, I think there's going to be a build-up. You know, I believe, first of all, the vaccine is kind of an issue for some nationalities too. If you've taken the Sinovac or the Sputnik or there's other non-approved, the only 3 vaccines I believe that Japan has approved right now is Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Moderna.
Right.
And AstraZeneca, not a lot of the Japanese took that, but it is on the list. I don't think they've added anything else. Meaning, if you're coming with these, are you not going to be allowed in? Or do you have to quarantine for 3 days because you don't have an approved one? What is the science behind that? I don't understand completely. And if you've taken a booster of a Pfizer or Moderna and you have a booster of those, does that work in your favor? I think those are the details we're going to hear next week or maybe the week after when they really start to have to put these tour packages, which is the first step, right? They're going to have a, I guess an experiment where they have packaged tourists coming here. It's probably not going to be a long-lived thing, but to see how it spreads. Now, they went from 2,000 to 3,500 to 5,000 to 10,000 people a day coming in. Right now, it's 10,000. And we don't see any kind of an impact on the spike of infections.
Right.
But,
so imagine how many people were coming in on a daily basis at the peak in 2019.
Yeah.
If there's 30-some million people coming each year, oh my God. So yeah, it's just a trickle of people coming in now.
Do you think they're going to have, I guess it's like a vaccine mandate at first, at least in the beginning, but they can't sustain that. They're going to have to open it up to China. China took all Sinovac, right? I think there were 2 types of vaccines in China. None of them were Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca. Unless you were like in the Politburo, you probably got all the good stuff. I don't know. I don't know how patriotic it is to take your country's vaccine if it doesn't work that well. But they're going to have to let Chinese tourists back in.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Or else it doesn't make any sense because that was 80% of the tourism. And they spent a lot on electronics and products to take back home to China because it was better made here, or they knew it was real here. And the prices might have even been cheaper because real stuff was more expensive in China, maybe because of tariffs. I don't know.
A lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah. So I guess if you have one of those unapproved or unvaccinated, there will be a solution, but it's not going to be right away. Probably by the end of the year, 2023.
So all 3 of your shots were the same make?
Pfizer, yeah.
Okay.
I really didn't have a choice, though. Yeah. I told you how I got my booster shot, right?
Yeah.
Do I admit it? I didn't read the kanji right. It wasn't my fault. Nobody stopped me.
Who brought it to light,
he exposed me. So I went to Shinjuku to get my booster shot. There's nobody there.
He's like, you got to go, man.
You got to go. There's nobody here. But they hadn't opened it up to the general public, so I was getting it with other doctors and medical first responders. But they didn't, I walked right in there, I registered, they didn't check any credentials, and there was nobody there anyways. That's such a waste. So in the end, I kind of
it was literally
justified
like the first day it opened, wasn't it?
No,
It wasn't?
It was more closer to the start for everybody else to get it.
Okay.
But they hadn't announced the dates. But in a way, I broke the rules. I felt really bad about it afterwards. But then I thought about it and said, look, there wasn't a lot of people there either. Why waste the time of the volunteers giving the shots?
Right. The use-by date of the vaccine may have been expiring.
It actually was 3 days expired, but that was before Pfizer extended the shelf life. I don't know.
That explains the fly hairs you got growing out of you.
Yeah, there's been some weird stuff coming out of my nose too. Could be for other reasons here.
Yeah.
So it's not that we don't want you here. Maybe that's a pretty harsh title. We love you all.
We love you.
Yeah, but we do know, we recognize that Japan will change. Oh, they're gone. The wedding. There are some people getting wedding photos over there.
Yeah, they're not here anymore.
Yeah, the bride was stunning in her dress. It's a shame. Happy
Well,
Mother's
where are we
Day.
going to walk to?
By the way, happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, we got to go get something for our wives. Did you get anything for?
I am. We're going out to dinner.
Are you going out to dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
But if we see something along the way here, I will probably pick it up. If it's,
Yeah, so we're gonna take you to a
floral,
walk
something.
along the Yamanote line, maybe, and show you. So these buses have started up again. Another sign that tourism is returning. You can see Tokyo from the open-top buses. So we're gonna go past the Hato bus depot, and let's go take a look at that. We could cross the street here, Peter. That's the post office where I send most of the postcards and the packages from there sometimes. The International Postcard Club, if you're interested, is the green tea harvest in Shizuoka this month. It's a beautiful photo from the drone looking down
nice.
on this really sculpted
Were
green
you able
tea.
to sample some of the green tea when you were there?
I was. I'm going back on the 19th to film the matcha processing.
Okay.
Shizuoka makes a lot of matcha and for confections for foods, and see how they make that and put that into some of the food and then try that.
You're going to be a matcha man.
It's a matcha green tea episode.
Yeah, I saw some of the drone footage that you showed me. It looked pretty amazing. That emerald green.
Oh, it's that
bushes
color of
and-
green
Yeah.
is so beautiful. That matcha green. Speaking of matcha green, that's really nice shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Matcha green shirt.
So for those who are watching and are chomping at the bit to come to Japan, where do you want to go?
That's a good question. Yeah,
What do you want to see?
that's a really good question. Thank you, G. Johnson. Nice to see you here. And I believe, hold on a second. Gotta thank everybody here. Rick H is here. Thank you for the great info. Had a trip planned for early June since last September. Whoa, we might not make it, sadly. That might be right on the cusp, right? We don't know. I guess the airlines are pretty, especially the Japan-based airlines are pretty easy with giving refunds because for things that are out of your control.
I have a
Patrick's planning a long-distance bike trip, which is a really good idea.
biking through Kanto.
It wasn't specific. Hana is going all over this time to see Himeji Castle and Matsumoto Castle. Hana's on a castle trip.
Himeji, that's one of the most
Yeah.
beautiful castles.
Jennifer's going to Yamadera and Ginzan Onsen. Nice. Greg is Chiba, Aomori, and Sapporo on his list.
Chiba. Where in Chiba?
Yeah,
Like to the coast?
I think so. Synthetic Dreamer has Tokyo Disneyland on his list. This is some pretty good things. You has Okinawa, if there's no disasters. I guess it depends on the time of year, right? The Joy's all in on Kansai.
Is there somewhere, you have been all over the country,
Oh yeah.
many times, many places. Is there somewhere that you haven't been yet that you really want to go?
Wow. Where I really want to go? Not really.
Really?
I want to go to Hahajima, see
Okay.
more of the Ogasawara Islands. I
Yeah.
think that'd be pretty cool. There's some islands in Okinawa that are interesting. So I think for only in Japan, I'm going to be filming mostly Hokkaido for the next couple of months. I really wanted to take a look at that, and we're still planning our trip to ride motorcycles up in Hokkaido in the summer. And then I'm going to switch on to islands and start to look at some of the islands of Japan. And there's even islands inside of islands, right? There's an island inside of the island of Japan. Sometimes these lakes have islands. I thought that would be,
That'd be neat.
yeah, there's some fun stuff here.
I have never been to Nagasaki.
Oh, let's wrap around this way, sorry. We can go past the Hato bus. Oh yeah, Nagasaki's so nice.
Right?
You never been to the city of Nagasaki?
I've never been to Nagasaki. So
Oh,
I'd love
man.
to go there and see the old Christian, the churches, and
Dejima.
looks like an amazing place. A lot of history there. And lots of little islands dotting that area as well that I would like to check out.
Oh right, yeah. When I was there, didn't get a chance to go to Dejima. There's an island out there, I guess, that you can go to see, as well as the Junkenjima.
Drunken Jima?
No, gosh, I always get it wrong. The Skyfall.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the uninhabited island. They it used to be an oil, was it oil drilling there or something, sort of, or coal or something?
I forgot.
But yeah, it was a small little town built on this island.
Gunkanjima, yeah, that's it. Gunkanjima. That's Nagasaki as well, and
Yeah, that looks like a really interesting place.
you can't land on the island, or if you do, there's just an area you can go, but you know, sometimes they'll give you special access and permission. House Ten Bosch is really nice too. You know House Ten Bosch?
Of course I do. I'm the audio guide for that
You are
place.
not.
Yes, I am.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought you have to speak Dutch or something.
Well, I had to learn the words. I had to pronounce them with proper Dutch accent.
So what is House Ten Bosch? How do we So House Ten Bosch is a fake Holland
Right.
in Nagasaki. They put in like Den Haag, like
They've got like a cheese.
yeah, Amsterdam, Almere.
factory.
Everything is like in this amusement park that's supposed to be Holland and Japan. It's bizarre, but awesome.
Right. Yeah, so I did the English audio guide for that.
Wow,
Yeah, it was a big project.
it's pretty amazing. So now we have, oh hey, King Wong is here. I'll be back in Japan during November for a 2-month trip. Oh, that's gonna be awesome, King. Hopefully we can catch up. I haven't seen you since I was in Singapore. Wow, so these Hato buses are what is this one going to? What center? It's going to Otemachi. There's a vaccination center. They used to have buses that went to that.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like something else. There's some of the Hato buses here. So they were decimated during the pandemic, Hato bus, because nobody was going anywhere. They were trying to do virtual tours. Nobody likes a virtual tour. Yeah, they weren't very popular. But now they have reopened a lot of it, and they're getting ready for the foreign tourists to come back. Arigato Tokyo.
Yeah, what's that?
Probably, I don't know. It's a good question. If you guys are interested, let me know and I will get in touch with Hato Bus and see if we can do a live stream on a couple of the routes.
This one's going to Skytree.
Oh yeah, Skytree and Asakusa Samban at 10 o'clock. So there's a lot of really cool tours. The Tokyo Panorama Drive is also really nice. That's with the open top one, and they leave regularly.
This is the Tower Tour.
Tokyo
Tower
Tour.
and Skytree.
Oh, both tours. There's a lot of stuff in between there that makes it worth it, I think. They do it at close to sunset too. Oh, so the Panorama Drive is, here are the prices. An adult is I keep on saying $18, but it's more like $14 now with the exchange rate. And it's a 200 yen more on the weekends. And it leaves every hour. Wow. That's pretty reasonable. It's a good way to, you know, relax on a day. Open top, has to be sunny, I guess. Could be raining today.
There's a lot of bus lined up. Not a lot of people lined up. So I'd
Yeah,
say
well, it hasn't really opened. I think Golden Week was a big test for domestic tourism. And when I was riding my bike out here to see you, Peter, there were really long lines. I think we're in between.
Really
Yeah.
fun. The establishments that are under the tracks, they've
Oh,
always
yeah.
got some unique eateries.
Hey, JJ Johnson's in the house. Thank you. And Aiken just chimed in here. I'd like to see some slightly different things in Tokyo for when we visit next. I'd like to know how to hire a motorcycle. Guess what? You're with the right guy here. How would you hire a motorcycle? There are some companies, right?
Yeah, yep.
I guess first
Well-
you need to have a license that's, do you need an international license?
You don't, yeah, international license. You don't have to, obviously don't have to have a Japanese license, international license. And if you want to get married, you could get a wedding dress right here.
Oh, that's probably where she got her dress from.
Right.
The Marunouchi site is so popular with wedding photos. All right, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so actually, I used to own a motorcycle rental company, part owner of one, and I think they're no longer around. But there's a company that's called Japan Bike Rentals. But there's a company that's nationwide called Rental 819, and if you check online, they have English on the site, and you can find rental shops dotted all over the country. Lots of different bikes to choose from. It used to be that you had to have some Japanese ability, but I think they've kind of upped their game a bit and have made it more accessible to tourists who want to ride. And Japan is an absolutely amazing place to ride a motorcycle.
It is.
I've been all over, and it's amazing. The roads are really well maintained, and lots of windy areas that go into
Maybe
the
not
countryside.
Hokkaido where we're going, right? Because there's a lot of straightaways, but
Yeah, there's a lot of straightaways in Hokkaido, but still plenty of curvies to get your blood pumping,
yeah.
and beautiful sights. Now, what is this up here? Have you been up there, John?
I think it used to be a restaurant, and I think it used to rotate back in the
Yeah, like the Space Needle in Seattle.
yeah, back in the bubble era. But it looks
And then
like
it
it's
broke.
decayed a little bit. That's the top of the building in Yurakucho, right? On the
And there's
plaza.
the blimp again.
Is that
Asahi
blimp again?
Super Dry.
You
See it up there?
Oh, yeah, there it is, the blimp. It's gonna go right in that traffic light. Oh. All right, so that car should not be going at all. So we are going now along the Yamanote line. There's lots of restaurants on the left side. Also, there's a really good Shake Shack burger place inside of the International Forum. So they held some of the Olympic events last year.
Lovely graffiti.
Yeah, it's rare to see some graffiti in Japan. These restaurants were closed down during the pandemic, especially the state of emergencies. It was a ghost town, and now they've started to open up again. We're at lunchtime, so you'll see some business people that are trapped into office life, I should say. Everyone's going to
These
find a
guys are
place
all
for
going
lunch,
there.
and I guess this group locked onto this chicken place. Teibasaki. Nice.
Beer is looking good.
There's actually a place that my friend Andrew is working at.
Oh,
We could stop in. He said
is
he
it
would.
craft beer?
I don't know. He said he would buy me a beer. So
Ah,
I
well,
won't
that's worth
allow him to
stopping
do
in
that.
for.
But he
Yeah,
might
the
force
craft
me.
beer. So Jibiru, is that right? Jibiru?
Yeah,
in
Jibiru,
Japanese?
craft
Jibiru.
beer.
Um,
Why do they call it Jibiru? Is it because it's Jimoto, the local?
it must be, yeah.
It must be, I guess.
Ask Andrew.
Yeah, we'll have to. It's a question, Andrew.
This
We're on our
place
way.
looks like it might be. Yeah, this shop's closed too. Check this out. That one's closed. That one over there, empty. There's two right here, empty.
There's a bunch of restaurants, and they just renovated this. This used to be where Kanai and I had our favorite Thai food restaurant. Everything was 680 yen. Was right here, and right here underneath the tracks, they closed that down and renovated it because after the earthquake, I guess, the structurally was beat up.
Mm.
Yeah, it was this right here. That Thai restaurant is gone. Some of you might remember.
Yeah, I love these shops under the tracks.
Hey, Phil Lam is here. Miyakojima is beautiful if you go to Okinawa. Not the biggest fan of the Mozukuro. I'm walking and reading. So this will eventually take us to Big Camera in Yurakucho. And my bicycle is back at Marunouchi, so I'm gonna make a walk back.
We have to buy another bike there and ride it back.
Yeah, you can do
I'll
that.
sit in the baby seat.
I'm in the market for one of those baby bikes with the seat in the back and maybe in the front. The Bridgestones look nice.
Yeah, I think that's what we have.
I
We
didn't
still
know-
have the baby seat on the
Yeah.
back, but we just put groceries in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Obviously Joji's too big to.
You got a Bridgestone too.
It's not sure if it's Bridgestone. It might be a Yamaha. Yamaha also makes the Dendo Jitensha.
Hey, Schmatz.
Oh yeah,
We've
we
been
went
here.
They've got good beer. I
Yeah.
kind of want to sit outside though. Ooh, those brats look good. Holy moly.
They got really good stuff. It's such a good story, the Schmatz story, the two Germans that came here, started a food truck.
Are you gonna tell that story again?
Yeah, they started a
You
food
gonna
truck.
tell the egg story as well?
Aoyama Market. I remember when they had the food truck. And now they got 30 or 40 restaurants in the chain now. It's awesome.
That place is booming.
It does look good.
Lots of good little eateries here.
Denver French writes in here, has Japan embraced work from home like the rest, or do they still have workers go to the office? I think that the working at home culture has grown quite a bit, but
sure.
it's not nearly what it's like abroad. And I think it has to do with the bosses being from another era.
Yeah. If the boss is there, they expect you to be there.
Right. And I learned this I used to go out to dinner. I think some of you might know some of these stories, but I used to go out to dinner with a director of a really large company. And he was getting close to retirement. He's now since retired. And he told me, he goes, look, it's his right? They don't get, like CEOs and executives in Japan don't get big salaries, but they get big benefits. And he gets expenses accounts. And he says, it's his right to use that expense account. So he doesn't want to lose it, so he has to use it. So I'm thinking now, perhaps these bosses just want the workers there so that they can use their expense accounts, which is part of their salary, I guess.
It's an interesting thought. Well, when this all happened with the pandemic and then wanting to have people work remotely for safety's sake, a lot of the companies, a very high percentage of the companies in Japan were not equipped to work remotely, and that includes my wife's company.
Oh, wow.
So there's a bit of a panic when this all happened, like, well, we don't have the computers for people to have their own computer at their house or stuff like that. So they had to gear up very quickly to prepare their staff to work remotely. So there was that kind of drama in the beginning. This is your friend's place, isn't it?
All right, this is Andrew's here sometimes. Do you see him?
I don't know if I know Andrew.
Andrew is Canadian. Here, hold this for a second. I'll just
Sure.
ask real quickly.
Got it. There he goes.
今日アンドリューさんいらっしゃいますか？あ、3時から？
So the craft beer scene
わかりました。
here in Tokyo is
I was
quite
talking
new.
in there so they can hear us both.
Oh, okay.
Andrew's gonna be there at 3, he said.
Ah. So the whole craft beer movement in Japan is relatively new as well. Like within the last 10 years, it's really taken off and got shops all over the city, all over the country.
That burger smells good. We just messed that burger
Is that
place.
from their shop?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh god, I'm getting hungry, man. This is some great. Look at that pile.
Oh, wow.
Gomer.
Bolognese.
Oof.
Wow. Ellis, can David make something like this? Because, yeah, we'll never let him leave our house when he comes to visit. Ellis writes in here, enjoy snacks and drink on us. Thank you. I'll take Peter out to lunch. We can find a place here. We want to sit
Wonderful.
outside.
Thank you.
Oh, there was that place the other day, you remember? It was crowded with mostly 20-year-old girls, women, I guess you'd say, right there on the corner.
International Forum?
You see that? Oh, look at the line though. Ellis, we can't go there.
Well, it's
Why is
the
that
Oriental
place-
Hotel.
Oh, the Oriental Hotel. Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
think
why.
their cafe is quite popular.
Wow.
We will not be going there.
Yeah, not today. All right, let's go underneath the Yamanote line, take a look around here. As you can see, there's still not a lot of, you can't see many Westerners or non-Japanese walking around. This looks like the Japan that I came to in 1998.
Yeah.
And when you look at the title for those, so when you look at the title for those that are joining us, we wrote in here, and we don't want you here.
That was his idea.
Maybe it was a little bit my idea, but I wrote that in there because we know how Japan is going to change when tourism does restart. And there's a lot of issues involved with that, which is why I was a little bit brash in writing that in the title. But
Well,
it's very true.
What do you think is going to be the like one major impact besides the
Well, I can tell you this right
number of
now.
bodies on the
Right
ground?
now, to have Japan just open the border and the door, they're not ready. So much has changed. So many things have gone out of business. They're not ready. The infrastructure is not there to handle. The hotels might be there, but they haven't been maintained. They haven't been used. There's a lot of hotels that went out of business. We don't know what the capacity is actually.
This is interesting, and actually, that makes me think about the car rentals.
Oh yeah, we
Right?
don't even have enough cars right now.
Right?
The rental places are sold out quite often.
Totally sold out. Times, do you use Times rentals?
I use a Toyota rent-a-car.
Okay, so the Times rental system is this new, it's a new system where you basically register, you get a card, a Times card, and you can use your app on your phone to reserve a car anywhere in the city. They have these, just using normal parking lots. But it's become so popular that a lot of the car rental places like Toyota and Nippon Rent-A-Car, they're no longer there.
Right.
So they've all kind of shifted to these Times rentals. So if you're coming to Japan, you may need to look into that, getting a Times rental contract.
The options for rent-a-cars and transportation have increased quite a bit, but they're not ready for...
The mass numbers.
Is Times in English, first of all?
I don't know, actually. I've always used it in Japanese.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're not really ready for foreign tourists. The companies that were, a lot of them went under because they just couldn't maintain it. But that's why I think Prime Minister Kishida made that announcement when he did. Japan needs to ramp it up in order to do that. And they're pretty good. Remember, as we saw with the vaccine boosters, we were just the shots. Japan was really late in the game with vaccines, all right?
Right.
But when they
really?
ramped it up, they got to 1 million a day pretty quick.
Yeah, well, they're very risk averse, and they like to study what other people are doing first, and then they improve on it.
Yeah.
And that's with everything, and that includes the whole vaccination system. I think they're very good observers and thinkers, and then they take it by the reins and they improve what they think needs to be improved.
I don't think you need an interpreter to rent a car. They have English sites. In fact, Toyota Rent-A-Car has a phone number with an English speaker that will set up the rental for you. That's out of business, by the way. This is one of my favorite lunch restaurants up here, up by the trees, where you can see the Shinkansen coming. They went under. They're out of business, so that's no longer an option to eat. Maybe something else will take its place. What do you think, Pigeon? It's a city bird. He walks fast. It's gonna be lunch if you go in that direction. Pigeon burgers.
I've had pigeon in Vietnam.
Yeah, I had it too. I had some pretty unusual food in my travels. Guinea
Yeah.
pig.
You had guinea pig?
Well, they put it on a stick too, a bunch of them, and they roasted on an open fire in
Could you-
Peru.
Like the whole body? You could tell it was a guinea pig?
Oh yeah,
Oh man.
it was good. Look,
You
certain
don't have
countries
a heart, man.
certain countries eat different kinds of food. Think about in India, they don't eat any cows, right? And think about all the cows we're eating. Said to them, we're eating God.
So what's our MO here?
Well, we're still looking for a place to eat, but I thought this would be good to show you around and give you an idea of what it looks like right now on the last day of Golden Week.
And 3 weeks before the gates open.
Right. June is really close. 3 weeks away. There goes the Shinkansen.
This guy's welcoming. See him down here? Come on in, folks.
Yeah. He's always there. Come and play pachinko. You have a dead arm like me. This is new, this bakery too. So from all of the things going out of business, new things come in. Right on the corner of Yakuto Station is this, what is this? This looks like something I might have had in Prague. Like these twisters with all this cream in it. Do you want one of these, Peter? Or
Yes,
is it
I
too
do.
early?
Yes, it's never too early for that.
All right, let's go.
Kogane.
All right, I'm in on this. Oh,
Kogane.
the line though is really, that is not a happy line. Peter, this line is pretty long.
Yeah. We can come back by.
Yeah,
Maybe we don't want to spoil our lunch.
it's true. Let's walk through here and then wrap around.
Okay.
I want to take some of your questions. We did ask earlier, when you do come back to Japan, what are some of the places that you would like to go to? We got a lot of comments and feedback, but you didn't explain why you want to go there. So if we see a really thought out answer, I'll stop and read that because I think it's interesting to us to hear where you guys want to go. And of course, Diana is here. Hey, happy Mother's Day. Yeah, thank you, Diana. You got it. Aunt Diana's in the house. Look at
Hi,
the gold
Diana.
bars.
Oh yeah.
Is that real?
Real
What's
chocolate.
that real?
I think.
That was like a Toblerone. That's when I said, is it real Toblerone? Oh man. You're flying back to the US too, right?
Yeah.
Kanai and I are going this summer. I think next month. We have tickets. I say I think. I don't want to announce the dates yet.
You don't want to jinx it?
I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, we'll go in August.
Okay.
And as you discovered, the airline tickets have exploded in price.
Yes, they have.
Ridiculous to fly to Portland, Oregon from Tokyo.
We're going through Lumine, which is a popular walkthrough to get to Ginza, which is shut down, I think, for the tourists today. I don't see a lot of tourists here, do you?
No.
But I did in Ginza. This is a place where tourists do come, and I saw some packaged tourists. So I do know that there are some people getting in, and biru, no biru. Well, when we can find a biru, we're looking for a place that we can sit outside, and I think there might be a couple in this direction.
This is interesting.
What is?
This guy's outfit matches his bag and hat.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
Would you wear that?
No.
I'll get it for you if you wear it.
Yeah, right. Are you serious? That looks pretty pricey too.
It'll almost be worth it taking the financial hit to see you wear that.
God. Is that, you probably need to do a plug for the Homicide Inc. podcast.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you for mentioning. Homicide Inc. podcast, my weekly true crime podcast. If you all are into true crime,
I am.
please check it out. Homicide Inc. John will put the link in the description. And if he doesn't, then he will be the subject of the next Homicide Inc. podcast.
I listen.
You better.
So when you comment, I always pin your comment at the top so it's easier for people to find it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
So-
and actually, I just uploaded
I don't want to be a story.
a fresh podcast last night, which is an amazing story that's playing out right now. It's the story of the sheriff in Alabama, Vicky White. She escaped with a convicted. Well, he's serving a 75-year sentence, and she escaped with him on her last day of work before
Whoa.
retiring. Casey White and Vicky White. Check out the podcast if you don't know that story. It's an amazing story. They escaped like 1 week ago. and they're on the lam. And it's a
Wow.
crazy, crazy story. So we are Shimbashi. Where are we? Oh, no,
This
okay,
is
this
Ginza.
Yeah, Ginza.
This is the Sukiyabashi Jiro. Jiro Sushi's
Yeah.
down there.
Right.
Scorpio Core Universe, I only hope and pray that people who go to Japan act decently now and not like a
Amen.
bunch of idiots like Logan Paul. Yeah,
I think most people are pretty well behaved.
I think so. I think if you're gonna spend, because we were just saying, like a ticket coming to Japan is much more expensive than it was in 2019. And for people who can afford it, usually they're a little bit higher class. I don't.
Yeah.
Is that the right one? You know, if you're going to spend that amount of money, you're not going to come here and be an idiot. It's not like you're going to Cancun for spring break,
Right. Right.
which I've done, and we were idiots. I always think they're talking to me.
We'll start to see some interesting fashion here in Ginza.
Oh, my favorite katsudon place is back here.
Oh, but don't tell them.
Yeah, I don't want to tell anybody. God, they've been doing katsudon for 45 years, he said.
Wow.
Adam K is here. You can't handle us maidenless hordes. Admit it. It's probably true. What's Roppongi gonna look like? Roppongi has been a ghost town, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the place where everybody goes out and drinks and gets a little messed up.
I have not been through there at night in probably 2, 3, 4 years probably. I'm there during the day. There's some studios there. But it's certainly changed.
Right. Not a lot of tourists here. Oh, right, in Czech Republic, it was those chimney cakes, they called them. They were really good. Really not healthy.
Chimney cake.
Yeah, Kanai and I would go to Europe for Christmas markets almost every year.
Well, that was in Germany, wasn't it?
Well, we went to, last time we flew into Vienna, and then we went up to Prague and circled around. Oops.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry about that. Microphone. We circled around from Prague through Nuremberg, which had a really wonderful Christmas market, down to Munich, and then Innsbruck via the Swiss Alps, which is awesome.
Well, that's a great place to be at Christmas time.
Yeah.
I've done that as well. Vienna, Salzburg.
Right,
Yeah.
Salzburg. We didn't stop in Salzburg. We had to get back to Vienna for the flight, but
Well, I'm getting super hungry here.
yeah. What restaurant looked good to you? You want to just go back and get a burger, or you want to sit outside? Is that a prerequisite for you?
It does not have to be outside. It just has to be food.
Oh, I see.
And burger is totally fine.
All right.
At Ale Works Place might be.
The katsudon place inside here has no signal, so we can't live stream in there.
Oh,
So we'll have to end it.
I'm okay with katsudon too.
Yeah, gosh, I love that place.
Think it's open on Sundays?
Oh yeah, that guy never takes a break.
Perfect.
All right, let's walk this way, and then we'll end the live stream here, unless we could find something else where we can sit outside. Grab a beer. But a couple of things here. I do think that we do want you to come to Japan. Again, those that are just joining us, the title it's not misleading.
It's tongue in cheek.
It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but when the tourists do come back here, which we think might not be exactly in June with the asterisk mark, probably in August maybe, a lot of things are going to change here for us, because for the last 2.5 years, we have been enjoying like quiet streets and very short lines, and Japan's been a little bit cleaner, I think. Some of the places a little bit cleaner. Kanazawa on the Sea of Japan side had a massive problem with tourists from a particular country would get the street food and then just drop it on the street. So
Really?
they prohibited street food totally in the Higashichaya region of Kanazawa.
Oh, that's a shame.
It made the streets really sad, because nobody was outside anymore. They were all in the streets eating, because the trash was creating problems with crows and other sorts of issues. I think some of you might know where we are. This is the school. the Tame Elementary School where they forced the students to get Armani suits. You know that story?
That sounds like my kind of school.
Yeah, Taime Elementary School.
Armani suits. And it says no photos over there, John.
I'm not taking video.
What do you mean they force them to wear
Well,
Armani suits?
everybody's got to get by uniform, right? So anybody who's
Designed by Armani.
they were all Armani suits. So if you thought Georgie's $2,000, how much was his uniform?
It was like 1,000 or something.
Yeah, his $1,000 uniform was bad. These things are like $3,000-$4,000 for the Armani
Shoot.
school uniforms.
Well, but look where they're living. This school is in Ginza, so I would
True.
think that the families that are putting their kids in school here can afford an Armani uniform for their child,
Right.
wouldn't you think?
When tourists come back, will they wear masks? Will they adhere to Japan's local rules, wearing masks on public transportation,
I
on
would
the
hope
Shinkansen?
so. I would hope so.
Yeah. Or do you think it's going to be really the Wild West and it's going to create this bad vibe?
Well, I would imagine that in the, like, for example, the stores, the shopping areas, that if you enter, they ask you to wear a mask. There will be no enforcing on the public transportation.
There's no mask mandate in Japan.
No. But I think that the locals would highly appreciate you wearing a mask when you're indoors in a restaurant or in the shopping area until the dust really settles. And it's not going to be really settled this summer, I can promise you that.
You can see everybody is wearing a mask even outside walking around. That's just the reality here in Japan. But Jeff Roberts writes in here something that's true. Japan was wearing masks anyways. They do this during the pollen season in March and April when the hay fever is really a problem. In the winters, everyone wears it because they're sick. Nobody else wants to get sick as the Shinkansen
Ramen
goes on
Avenue
above us.
over here. Do you see Ramen Avenue?
Yeah, we could do a little walk through here. I don't think the signal's very good. Let's take the camera in here, take a little look, and then we'll settle into some lunch. I gotta buy him one. Thanks, guys, so much for the lunch money. Let's take a look-see into the ramen.
Oh, wow.
Smells like ramen.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So,
That one in the middle with the ajitama. My gosh. Look at that chashu steak. These all look good. Oh, this is the negi miso ramen. I love kara miso negi ramen. Oh man.
this all looks
This
fantastic.
is why you jump on a plane to come to Japan. Ramen.
Yeah. Look at the karaage. Oh,
Would you take a group tour if that was your only option to come to Japan?
yeah, I would.
All right, I guess we can just.
This is cool.
Yeah, let's
Statue
just
of
get
Liberty
a.
here.
That is pretty creepy. Actually, that's pretty
Oh,
pretty.
yeah, I like it.
All right, the signal might not be so good, but I guess we could take them inside and take a look around. There's some really interesting restaurants underneath the Yamanote Line track as well, right here. It's a seafood place.
You're actually going to go inside the restaurant.
Yeah, let's just show people what it looks like just for a second. Walk through. It's interesting. I haven't been in here before. Oh, so like,
Somebody should start the
Is it-
countdown.
yeah, we
How
don't
many
have
minutes
permission to
before
film
we're
in here,
kicked
so
out?
I don't want to. But it does look like, is it just like a bunch of shops here? Or is it just a counter?
I think they've just got a lot of
It's,
lot
it's
of
like a lot of
choices.
ramen shops in a counter.
Okay, so there's one, two, three. So there's basically 3 different counters with different.
Interesting. Huh.
It all looks really good.
Yeah, I've never seen a
Killing me.
ramen shop like that to have that kind of a setup. Again, I don't think the signal's very good in the cave here. Let's go back outside. Yeah, sorry guys. I knew the signal wasn't going to be very good. Peter's taking a selfie. Smile. Oh, stop it. If you can't see it, he's trying to kiss the statue. All right, I'm moving out here where the signal will get better. I'm sorry. I knew that it wasn't going to be good going in, but I couldn't resist the smell. All right, refresh your screens. I think we're back to better signal.
G-Wagon. Right here. Try not to get killed. Oh, actually.
All right, we're now going towards Hibiya, the meat festival where we were last week. They banned us. There's a PBG crossing the street near the Imperial Hotel. He's got the mic on the dog tag.
Down this street is where you can see the openings of all the restaurants all along there.
Oh, right, yeah, there's some new restaurants that opened up underneath the track here.
What line is that going by? That's the Keihin Tohoku?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Group tours have always been really big in Japan anyways. The domestic tourists love group tours. But I don't think that's something that Westerners are gonna like. I know
Well-
Chinese tourists came mostly on group tours because it was cheaper. They were able to get bargains based on volume, but you have to stick to the tour.
Well, this is a certain market for group tours. I mean, if you're going to a land where you don't speak any of the language, everything is very exotic and foreign. You want that, and you're older, you want that peace of mind to be able to have somebody point the direction where you're going to go here, we're going to go there, okay, go here. But if you're really free-spirited and comfortable being in a foreign place and not being able to communicate real clearly, then the group tour is not for you. Look
Yeah.
at this overflowing beer. Oh God, why are we passing that shop?
I don't know.
I see that as a wormhole sucking us in.
It does look good.
$2.99 for that cold beer. What is that in US dollars?
It's like $2.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like $2.20. $2.20. Have to fix the tripod here. Oh, this is the German restaurants here on the side. Very overpriced. They have a Hofbrauhaus, which is way overpriced for what you get. But it's still cheaper than flying to Germany. So there's the Hofbrauhaus. It's not quite the same. They don't have a very good menu in there. Well, look, you know what the package tours? I'd say most people are going on the same track anyways. They go Tokyo, Kyoto, Himeji.
Yeah.
They do the same thing, sometimes over and over again. Most people don't go off of the beaten path. So I think if you're going to do a soft opening, the package tour sort of makes sense. I think that's like within Japan's MO.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the Godzilla. We can walk past here for a second. Right? So I figured the end of May, they start with these package tours. I don't know from where. I don't know how you get one. I guess you got to contact JTB and HIS because they're the ones that have been lobbying the Japanese government to open That is a pretty cool building.
It's got a lot of character.
Right, HIS and JTB are the two big Japan tour agencies.
Mm-hmm.
You can get just flights from these agencies too, and they have usually sometimes really good discounts on the flights compared to getting it from the airlines themselves. So there are benefits. I used to get my tickets from JTB USA to come to Japan all the time over the airlines because it was always cheaper.
Right. It's not really the way it is now, though.
No. But I don't think the package tour is going to last for more than a month. They're just doing it as an experiment, just to see how it goes. Mm-hmm. And if they,
well, it also gives them control, right? They can control the bodies.
Well, you can hold somebody accountable to get people out. Because if you come as a solo traveler, that's a lot of people to tell get out because we have a new virus or something.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Package tourists, it's easy to get people out and has less risk.
Look at Godzilla. Look at how disturbed she looks.
There was a pigeon on his head last time.
Well, that
a disturbing
explains
image.
Look at her hands, how like arthritic her hands
pretty
are.
arthritic, yeah. The statue they had before used to be here. About 2 years ago, they took it out. It was like the old school Godzilla, and they put this one in, which made a lot of sense. This is the spot of where the old Toho Cinema theater was.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of movie theaters, I guess, in Japan back then. This is the main one. And this is where I think the Walk of Fame was, where people would put their handprints on the street. But they moved that to another place too. Godzilla, a big reason for Japanese cinema exploding internationally.
I've actually worked at the Toho studios doing recording there.
Oh, okay.
And they've got a Godzilla out in front of the studios. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Huge campus.
I haven't seen the Shin Godzilla, have you?
No, I have not seen it.
I think it looks too realistic.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, I think it looks too realistic, and I think part of the appeal of the old Godzilla was that they made the most out of what they had. Right. And now it's just too realistic.
Right. A guy in a suit and miniature buildings and stomping them.
It's a pretty cool concept. How do they get all those people to panic on the streets? I want to be a part of that.
Let's take off your mask. Should be pretty easy to do.
Sergey right in here, buy some natto for your friend. Is that what a friend would do? Sergey, I'm not sure.
Cheers, Sergey. Actually,
seriously,
I like natto.
Yeah,
so do I. I like natto.
Yeah.
So that is not doing me a disservice.
Where do you want to eat, buddy?
Well,
I don't see anything outdoor that we can continue the live stream. We're gonna have to cut the live stream to eat.
Yeah.
And I got to get back to Kanai because it's Mother's Day.
And yeah, exactly.
And you too.
I've got to find something.
Right. So let's just tie this up then, I guess, and we'll go have a burger.
Sounds
or
good.
Something. Yeah. So we don't want you to come to Japan and ruin. That's not true.
No, we do want you.
We want you to come to Japan. We just realize that there's going to be some changes to the dynamics of our life over the last 2.5 years. But personally, let's end it on a high note here. I've not liked the fact that tourists are not here because I don't see people smiling a lot. I don't hear enough laughter. I don't hear enough. I like to meet people on the streets more when they come and say hi and give them a you found me car.
You just want your ego boosted.
That's not it at all. It's just more. It was more fun to have people around.
Of course.
When there's nobody, just the pigeons and me. Yeah. And it made the live streams more fun, of course, too, to meet people and hear what their trip was like.
Well, and you're going to have some catching up to do with meetups.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we haven't done a meetup in ages, and I love to. You came to some of them too.
Yeah,
come and meet up with a lot of you. Have a beer underneath the cherry blossoms or something like that. That was cool too. So we'll try to do. I'm trying to get a boat, Yakata Bune, to rent on the Sumida River.
Well, that would be a blast.
Right. So we're not sure when it's going to happen. Maybe September. Maybe October.
Awesome.
We'll see how it works out, but that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would join that.
Maybe do them monthly if tourism returns. Do monthly, in a boat, hanging out.
Yakata Bune is a great cooking, like okonomiyaki and monjayaki right there on the boat. Yeah, that's excellent. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tokyo
Leo would
Bay.
like it. Leo would like it too. Maybe even
Yeah.
the space boat if we can swing it. I think that's pretty pricey. Yeah. All right,
enough.
everybody. Thanks so much. I gotta buy this guy lunch. Have a good Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to y'all.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to our mothers. Who
Yes.
are probably watching. Hi, Mrs. Gom.
Yeah, and Mrs. Dobb, mother of Leo. Goodbye.
Oh, Kanai, not Mrs. Dobb, mother of John.
Oh, that one.
Ah.
Whoa. And she's also a fan of Homicide Inc.
That's true.
Thank you, Mrs. Dobb, for listening to the podcast.
And my number one fan happens to be his mother.
My mom.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. We do miss you here in Japan. Can't wait to see you when things open up in June or July or August or
Hopefully
whenever
sooner
we're
than
going to be
later, yeah.
here. Yeah. Now I got to buy him some natto. Thanks, Sergey.
Cheers, guys.
Where's that natto restaurant?
Let's not find it.
Oh, really?